Gentlemen, how you doing today? I'm relaxing as usual, not trying to advertise anything because at CTV we're not allowed to advertise and so forth. It is the summer going to spring. I like to say what? Oh, it's fall. Thank you, Pat. Pat, let me tell you who's in the camera, people, right now. I got Brian LaPayower, who's got what's the name of your show? The LaPayower Report, and Pat Brady. Pat Brady is for the second time in her life has been here doing my show. And what's the name of your show? There's Geology Forum. And environmental issues. And she also said TV issues. But that's besides the point. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here to have fun for you. Okay? My name is Hector Bosa. You contact me at HomeInvadersVarietyShow.com. You give me what you want, and I'll give you what you need. That sounds good, too. We have a lot of special guests coming up. So, without further ado, let's start with a gentleman who has been on radio or webcast radio. And he's been very successful to some degree. He knows a lot of people. He's paying me a couple of bucks. And, oh, that's right. We can't mention money exchange either. You know what? I'm breaking so many rules on CTV. It's unbelievable. But you know what? Let's get to it. Let's talk to the first gentleman that I have on my left. You see? Look at that beautiful camera shot. On my left. Thank you very much. And that is, so introduce yourself, please. You're known as Coach Kev when they put it, but go ahead. Say your phone.
I go by that title, Coach Kev. My name is Kevin Nasta, born and raised in Staten Island, now living on the Jersey Shore. And I own and operate the Damage 365 radio network.
Now, how did you get Coach Kev?
I've been coaching softball for 22 years, which includes recreational and collegiate.
Now, do you need a professional player like myself? Having me is like having a major league star. Would you mind trying me out? I mean, I'm telling you, I'm like a major league star. I can catch the best of them. I've caught so many women. Believe me, a ball and women are just like the same. I catch them every time.
I don't know if we can afford you.
No.
We'll have to pay you in chicken nuggets.
It's okay. I'll even take that. I work for food. I'll sell my behind for something else. But besides the point, you also have interviewed a lot of people on your podcast. What time does the podcast?
We air pretty much every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we're up against a WWE pay-per-view. Then we go on an hour earlier at 5 p.m.
And do you have people that come on the show? I mean, do you have any help, or is it just you talking?
I have my particular show, the Indie Super Show. Yeah. I have two co-hosts and two outside contributors.
And would you mind mentioning that?
Absolutely. Nick Tallarico goes on the radio as Nick the Beard.
Nick the Beard.
You can't miss him because his beard is like that.
Okay.
We have the real number 8, JT. known to the normal people as Jonathan Torrey,
The real number 8.
the real number 8.
How did that?
That's
Please.
his softball number, and
Okay.
doesn't want to be confused with anybody else wearing it.
Okay, the real number 8.
And then we have Solomon Chertok and Dave DeChico, who
Solomon Chertok.
are outside contributors who help us get guests or at least get us the lead, where then I take and run with it.
I actually know a Solomon Chertok.
You
Maybe
do.
it's the same one.
It is.
Yeah, yes. He's playing softball too.
No softball.
Oh no, he contributes to the radio. Oh wow, you know, Solomon's a good guy. I like Solomon. Solomon, I'm gonna have him back soon because they all worship me over here. They all want to come to my TV show. You know, thank you, Pat. But I always break the fourth wall. Don't worry about it. The problem here is now when you're on your, how long is it's an hour long, 2 hours long?
It's anywhere from an hour to 90 minutes. Last week we did a live broadcast from a actual wrestling show, and it was a 3-hour broadcast because we did play-by-play for the actual card.
Now, do you you interview, I'm sure, famous people and indie people, right?
We've interviewed independent wrestlers. We have interviewed former mainstream, which was WWE, TNA, WCW, ECW, that are now on the independent stream.
Or WWF, you know, because
You know, prior to that,
yeah, the older gentlemen and so forth. Now, there's a question that I've been wanting to ask you. Jimmy Superfly Snooker, that's very huge. That's very big. What do you think happened there? I mean, what's since you
not
do a
to
wrestling
to spit out internet rumor and
Right,
propaganda and all
exactly.
that other nonsense.
But in case it was real, what would you think of
I mean,
that?
look, I mean, it's just he should be treated like any other person. If he is guilty of what he's being charged for, then, you know, regardless of age and how many years have gone by, he should serve the time.
Yeah, because when it comes to I know from police matters that when it's death, when it's a murder, that's never a closed case.
Right.
They never close the case. But he's in a hot mess. WWE took all his merchandise out of it again. And Hulk Hogan, what do you think about the Hulkster?
That situation, and you know, we've seen this many times with other celebrities where they say something years and years ago, and it comes back to haunt them. And with the power of social media, it's very hard not for it to come back to you. And unfortunately, you know, he made a tape, he did stupid stuff and said stupid things. And I've personally interviewed Hogan in the past, and people I've known who've worked with him. He's not the person that stupid scenario portrayed him to be. Wrong time, wrong place, said the wrong things, maybe trying to show off. But, you know.
Right. Well, you know, one last question. I mean, do you before we get to the things we have to show, what do you think of the social media? Do you think it's the social media's fault for broadcasting it? Because we're both social media.
Right.
So what do you think of us going, you know, we do have a tape. Would you have put it on the side, or would you?
I personally believe social media has ruined wrestling. The internet has ruined wrestling. You know, as wrestling fans, as kids, when we wanted to watch something, we watched it, and if anything happened, we didn't find out until a month later when we bought a magazine or when we turned on wrestling on Saturday morning.
Right.
Now something is said wrong, something happens, or even you get two wrestlers going out to dinner. It's on the internet within minutes, and there's no way to pull off storylines anymore because it's out there. Camera phones, you know.
Some social media antagonize to get something back, to get
The dirt
reaction, and you know, even if you blow your nose the wrong way, social media is out there and so forth. But you know what? I know that you've interviewed some people out there, so let's start showing the photos of who you've interviewed so far, because you have, like I said, you've interviewed a lot of folk.
Yes.
And Now let's show the video. I mean, the pictures. And that is Greg the Hammer Valentine.
That's this Sunday's show. 5 o'clock. We're gonna have WWE Hall of Famer Greg the Hammer Valentine on the show, and at 6 o'clock, former ECW star Jason Knight.
I remember Jason Knight. Greg the Hammer Valentine. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
He's a piece of work. That
Yeah,
one.
he still is.
Yeah, and he could wrestle, and he can turn. And he still.
Yep.
And now, speaking of dirt sheets, I actually heard a rumor that he says, and again, this is a rumor. I'm not trying to spread anything. I'm telling you, so you can tell me what you think. If I'm correct, is that women should not be in wrestling. Now,
Yes.
He
did say that.
Yeah, he did say that.
He went on another radio show and basically bashed women wrestling, and he will be on the show this Sunday, and he said that he will fully explain
What he means.
what he meant. He was taken out of content a little, but he will explain exactly what he meant. He says he has no issues with women in the wrestling business as long as they don't take time away from the men. So, but we'll find out everything this Sunday.
Exactly. So don't forget to watch your show then.
That's right.
All right, so let's go to the next picture. Just Incredible and Robbie E.
This is November 14th in East Elmhurst, New York. It's called The Big Event. We will be bringing in former ECW star Just Incredible.
Very good. He also known as Aldo Montoya, which didn't fly too well.
A woman that you're familiar with, Valkyrie Women's Champion Casey Carlisle.
Yes, I had a good interview with her. Very champion. Boy, she's very good, you know.
And former TNA Impact TV champion Robbie E. will be at our table at the big event.
And the only thing that's wrong is that he changed his haircut. So let's go to the other one and let's see what we have. Wow, okay. Now this is your radio
That's our
reference.
trademark logo, a thumbnail of it. That's pretty much, it's on our Facebook page, our Twitter page, and our blog page.
Oh, wow. Now, these are all the
These
people
are
that you've
over
met?
15 WWE Hall of Famers that we have interviewed.
Oh, wow. You know, now you see a lot of those people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say which one. Bob Orton is the toughest one because he doesn't do interviews.
Right.
If I remember hearing correctly.
He doesn't like to do interviews. He doesn't do many public appearances, but that's actually going to change this October 3rd.
And
then there's the picture.
Yes.
This October 3rd at Legends of the Ring, which is another convention in Monroe, New Jersey, we'll be bringing in aforementioned Just Incredible and Casey Carlisle, but also WWE Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton.
And the last interview that I heard from him, believe it or not, was with the Roddy Piper show.
Yes.
When he had the Roddy Piper show. And he said himself, I don't do that many interviews. I just, I you know, it's a blessing to have him because him, Roddy Piper, some of the other guys, they were wild. If Roddy Piper was telling a story that Orton came out naked. He was trying to hold the door. So
I'm sure there's many locker room stories that you can, we met Larry Zbyszko and
he must have a treat.
Oh my God, he had so many stories that were hilarious.
And the funny thing was, now let me ask you, you've interviewed Larry Zbyszko. Was he really mad at Bruno, or was that a shoot, or was that?
No, that was a shoot. The reason why Larry Zbyszko even got into the business was because of Bruno Sammartino.
Right.
He lived down the block. He actually snuck onto Sammartino's property and crawled through the bushes of Bruno's property.
Yes, I remember that. Yes,
and,
yes.
introduced himself, and that's pretty much how it all started.
And this is what now?
This is the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore. They are located in the Englishtown Flea Market, the Green Building, booth number 35. They are one of our majority sponsors for the show.
Wow, that's cool. That's good.
Really cool people.
It's cool. No, it's good that you can get into sponsors and so forth.
They're at all the wrestling shows.
And this is another
across.
one. Your Warriors of Wrestling.
Warriors of Wrestling. Staten Island. We're on Staten Island TV.
They
Staten
should-
Island has wrestling.
I
and people don't seem to realize that.
I think that Staten Island should support
Mm-hmm.
a good. That's a really good company,
Very good company run by Joe Bellini.
and it's run
Yes.
well too.
They're on Roku, which that
Yeah.
graphic showed, so you
Yeah.
can watch all their matches. And they have a school,
Right. Yes.
so they actually train wrestlers. Well, train people
Right,
to
right.
become wrestlers,
Or
and they do it the right way.
old style, old
Mm-hmm.
school style. Because I noticed when I've been there, they have done old school stuff. The referee gets involved. Get this cheap shot in there
Well,
without the
and
referee
entertainment
looking.
value.
Exactly.
They keep storylines going from month to month, and they have a show coming up on October 3rd,
Right.
which is at the evening after the Legends of the Ring convention.
Yeah.
Where it's at Fun Station.
Yeah.
USA in Travis.
Yeah.
And we will also be bringing Just Incredible and Cowboy Bob Orton to Warriors of Wrestling for a meet and greet. They'll be signing autographs and meeting the fans.
No, that's cool because I'm going to try to get in there. But I just like the fact that that we have something that nobody knows about. And it's like I said, that's why you moved, because Staten Island is bloody boring. I'll say to the end, you know what? Staten Island sometimes is a nice place to live, but it's the most boring place in the world because there's nothing there. And then
It's
you don't
anywhere.
know about it.
It's anywhere.
No, not in New York.
Well,
If you walk up and down New York, something's always happening. If you're walking up and down Brooklyn, something's always happening. Even in Queens, certain parts of Queens, when you walk on
I'm not a city
walk
guy.
on Highland Boulevard.
I'm not a
Walk,
city
walk
guy.
on Highland Boulevard. Walk on the only place you got is Richmond Town. Oh, there's another picture with you, Hacksaw Jim
yes,
Duncan.
another WWE Hall of Famer. That's Nick the Beard. Now you
Nick
can see.
the
Now you can see the
Okay,
beard.
that's why. Looks like one of the guys from Duck
yes,
Dynasty.
that was in Middletown, New York, at a convention that was run by Event Warren Promotions, and we got to hang out with WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Cool. And there's Haku.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Very much should be in the Hall of Fame. This was at a Warriors of Wrestling show,
Now
and
he
that is
choking you.
Haku. Also was named Meng
Meng,
when he was
yeah,
with
Meng.
WCW. Very good guy. It was a
Yeah.
very, very nice interview.
And I heard he was a badass.
He
He was a badass.
yes, he
man.
was very stiff in the ring. He took everybody out.
No, but when I'm saying he was,
Oh, yeah.
he's a badass.
He was
that
one
if
of
you
those
left-
guys
yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
did not mess with in the locker room. You did not mess with him in the parking lot, and you didn't mess with him in the ring.
No, he was a guy that if you took to a bar, he was the one that would chop.
Yeah.
He'd bite your ear off and everything. And there's the man himself, Jim Cornette.
Jim Cornette.
The man that never stops talking.
But he's one of those guys
Great
that
guy.
you can sit there and the stories that he tells you is just amazing. That was at the big event 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And had the pleasure of meeting also a man who should be in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
one of the best wrestling promoters that ever
And manager.
lived.
I mean,
Yes.
he's manager too, because the
and
Rock
his
and Roll
tennis
Express
racket.
and so forth. Yeah, he's famous for that, for the pink tennis racket and
Yep.
so forth. And there's
And there's
Larry
Larry
Zbyszko.
Zbyszko.
Yeah, oh,
And
yeah,
as you
cool.
can see, this particular picture was taken in Philly at a sports store where he did a signing. He was also at Warriors of Wrestling. He did a meet and greet there.
Yeah, he doesn't do much. He doesn't do much either.
This
but-
is the Warriors of Wrestling show on October 3rd we
Yeah.
mentioned. You know,
Oh wait, they brought back the world's greatest tag team. Those guys were good.
yes.
They're really
Shelton
good.
Benjamin and
Amateur-
Charlie
yeah,
Haas
really
are
good.
going to be brought to Warriors of Wrestling by RDP Promotions, Richie DeGreg.
Yeah,
And he will also be bringing in a couple other stars that will be
cool.
later. So you're
And
going to have to
then
check
the
him out on
Warriors of
Facebook.
Wrestling train. I
Yes.
wonder if they train you to just not only to be a wrestler, but to, in case you want to be a referee
Yes,
or a
they
manager
do.
too.
They
Because,
train you to be referees, managers, valets, wrestlers.
And there's
And, yes.
your Damage 365.
That is one of our trademark logos. On the left is one of our shows that's part of our network. It's called Real Sports Talk with Kenny Kluska. He
Right.
has his own show. He's a host of that show. He's on every Sunday an hour before we go on the
Now,
air.
when you interview some of those people, well, there's something, the logo there.
Warriors Wrestling.
All right, like I said, I support independent wrestling, and I support, as much people hate it, TNA. I hope Global Wrestling does well. Even though if it's Jeff Jarrett, to me, Jeff Jarrett starts really good and then burns out at the end. He's done it 3 times.
Well.
Yeah,
He's
a very good guy, though.
Very good guy.
You know, and I see he's a very good guy. You know, I've never met him, but I see he's a very good guy, very passionate and so forth. But I want to ask you, when you interview some of these guys, do you? I know you're supposed to ask them softball questions, but what is the hardest question you ever asked a wrestler?
If there's any kind of controversy and that we have to, you know, start a conversation with that, it's always kind of uneasy. We respect our guests, so we try to get in touch with them prior to the interview to make sure that we don't overstep our boundaries.
Right.
And if there's anything they would not like to talk about, you know, and we respect it. If they say they don't want to talk about it, we don't talk about it. We don't bring it up. We respect their wishes. You know, we've had guests that were wrestlers that used to be porn stars.
Yeah,
You know, we had
yeah. Which one was that? Jasmine St. Clair. Right,
She did not want to talk about her prior to wrestling career.
Okay.
And, you know, we kept our word, you know.
Yeah,
We're a wrestling
yeah,
show.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
not a gossip show.
There's a couple of them, too, that I've interviewed myself. And, you know, like I said, I want to talk to you more. There's going to be another guest coming up.
Okay.
I want him to come in with an input, too, because maybe he has got a couple of questions for you. But right now, we have a music video. Then we're going to go to the magnificent Mimi and so forth because we have another skit coming up for you. Then after that, we have Brian LaPayower, if I don't mess up his name. And Coach Kev will also be here. And we're going to talk so that you don't get bored. Well, let's go to the video.
Tinder, changing the way we date. Uber, changing the way we get from place to place. We've combined both. Say hello to Under, the car service for people looking to meet that special someone on the way to wherever. Step 1. Open the Under app and activate. If you don't like the way the driver looks, simply swipe left using Under's ultra-convenient technology. And if you like what you see, simply like the driver. When the driver you choose also chooses you, you have a match.
Hey, you're Paige?
Uh-huh.
And you live in Brooklyn? And you like Paul Rudd movies and brunch?
Yes.
Is that true?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Seems like everybody does.
If the driver wants to get to know you better, he'll swipe forward to indicate that you may sit in the front seat.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to work on this part of the
Yes,
service.
it's a little tight.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did I kick you?
It's not my car. I don't care.
When you get the right match, sit back and let Under take the wheel.
So, I know where you're going, but where are you from?
I'm from Ohio.
Oh, right. Round on both sides, high in the middle.
Did you just make that up?
No. People say that.
From there, get ready for the most romantic evening of your life.
Cheers.
Yeah, I don't normally drink and drive, but kind of have to in this line of working.
Yeah.
It's from a box.
Under drivers are all certified 5-star conversationalists.
You like music?
I love music.
Yeah, music's pretty important, huh?
Do you like music too?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Wow.
I go to like all the bands, shows, and just I listen to everything on Spotify.
Our drivers are experts in picking you up.
You have amazing eyes, by the way. Just noticed, because I'm driving. So,
That's so sweet. Oh.
Yeah.
You have amazing eyes too.
thanks. Sorry about that. I usually last a little longer.
Oh no, you were great. Fare's getting expensive anyways.
Under drivers always end the date like perfect gentlemen.
5 stars for you, mister.
Thanks. I know.
You have another date?
I mean, I do this for a living. So.
I thought we had a connection.
Sorry, I'm gonna end the date by swiping left.
What are you
Sorry. Sorry about that. Hey, can you give me a good rating? I mean, for the driving. Sorry, I know this part's kind of weird. Hi there.
Hi.
So, I know where you're going, but where are you from?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Connect to cut. That's how I remember it.
Also, if you're feeling adventurous, try Under Pool. Under. Everyone has a sex drive, but now you can have drive sex.
Sesame Street is now part of HBO, but we're still going to bring you what HBO is known for, like biting social commentary.
Donald Trump wants to run USA like business. Me hope that business chips ahoy.
Hard-edged cop dramas.
Why don't you try singing with me, Bert? That always helps me feel better when I'm blue.
How can I sing when everything I've ever known is a lie? A sequence of imaginary incidents adding up to absolute zero.
You want to hear a joke?
We're all God's joke. But the biggest punchline of all is that there is no God.
Shows about gritty mob stories.
Cousin Elmo, we gotta have a sit-down about this Mr. Noodle.
Elmo loves Mr. Noodle.
He's a freaking nutcase. He comes into the Bing, he pretends he's made out of rubber, pounds himself into the ground with a hammer, plays with an invisible rope. It's distracting to the strippers, and it's bad for business.
Elmo and Mr. Noodle are best friends.
I gotta ask, what's with the laugh?
Elmo loves to laugh.
Yeah, well, Elmo's not gonna be laughing when Mr. Noodle is in the ground, for real.
Like in a sandbox?
No, like buried, 6 feet under, dead. He has ceased to be. Now get your shit together. I don't want to have to come back to this freaky cartoon house again.
Elmo put a bomb in his car.
Sexy vampires.
True Blood was 5 seasons too long. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons of bullshit. The first 2 were good.
Epic tales of fantasy.
Joffrey, do you know what envy means?
Mother, take this purple creature to the dungeon at once.
I'm blue. Do you know your colors, Joffrey?
You're whatever color I say you are.
Joffrey, do you like pie?
I love pie, what of it?
Well, I made too much pie and I can't finish it all. I bet not even you can eat all this pie.
I am king. I can eat all the pie in the world. Give it here.
Quick! Someone help King Joffrey! His tummy hurts from too much pie!
Get HBO now, or steal your mom's friend's HBO Go password before you miss all the action.
Something different. So we are going to do
because
something
I get
different.
bored every now and
Yeah,
then.
she gets bored, and she always likes to try something new. And I'm always in a jam because I never know what she wants to talk about. No, that's not
because
true.
you don't listen to me.
That's
why.
Of course
I talk to you, but you don't
yeah,
listen.
Yeah, I listen. Most
No,
men
you
don't, but I do.
No.
Most men have that filter. When women talk too much, it just
You shut us
out.
out.
Like, yeah,
That's what it
okay,
is.
go ahead. Yes. Do you want to rob me blind? Yes. You can rob me blind. Yes. No, but anyway, you know what? Let's talk about this. This is an interview you did.
This is an interview I did. Well, I just want to preface it by saying that if you're noticing now in society, if anybody doesn't know, I do a show called MQuest TV, and it's basically subjects regarding spiritual, paranormal topics, the afterlife, this and that. All about those topics. Anyway, if you notice now in society, you'll see that a lot of people seem to be talking a lot about death and the transitioning process into the next life, into the afterlife. If you notice that they are coming up with death cafes where people can get together and talk about death and how it.
There's one in Brooklyn when we went past. Right?
Well, no, that was the Morbid Museum or something like that, where you can.
Well, they had skulls and so forth.
Yeah, which you could have a cappuccino and talk about somebody's skull.
That
was so it's a mortician's break.
It's like being in Hamlet. To be or not to be. This is the question.
Yeah, but the thing is that now I'm noticing in society everybody's starting to talk about that subject, probably because people are coming out of their fear a little bit about it, and they're starting to discuss it because people tend to hold on to that fright and not talk about it.
Is that why Day of the Dead is celebrated in Mexico? Is that
Well, I
What
think
you mean?
that's been going on.
That's been going on for years.
Yeah, because it's
years,
one of
years,
their
years.
own
so,
traditions.
So do you think that is what's happening now, that we're celebrating
I think that
and trying
people
to
are
keep in
opening. Well, I think now people are opening up more to it. Than probably not as frightened as they used to be. As far as the Day of the Dead, that was their tradition of still remaining connected to their relations who had passed on, because they don't feel that it's the end. They still feel connected to them. So I'm thinking now that society is opening up even more about it now, and that's the reason why you're seeing a lot more events popping up, like the Death Cafe, and people are becoming a little more open about it. But one of the shows that I did recently was about this woman whose son in 2009 committed suicide.
Okay.
He was 20 years old, and he had a lot of problems like bipolar and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he committed suicide, and that sent his mother into this spiritual journey, trying to figure out what or where is he? Is he still with them? Is he still connected to them? Because she was raised an atheist, and she didn't really have any type of spiritual connection that can give her these answers. So
she was raised an atheist, and so
Yes.
was the child.
yeah, he didn't
boy.
really have any belief system to go over to the other side with.
Okay.
So that's an interesting fact in itself, because
Right.
what kind of belief you leave here with is what you're going to be met there briefly, and until you get used to the fact that it doesn't, dogma and man-made belief systems don't exist on that other side. But that's going on another side, another tangent. At any rate, we had this lady, her name was Elisa Meadows, who decided to study to figure out what happens when a person passes away. And all of a sudden she started to have all these paranormal encounters where she started to sense that her son was actually trying to communicate with her and the family. So she decided to talk to a medium by the name of Jamie Butler. I think we have pictures of Elisa and the son, and a picture of, yes, that's Elisa, the mother, and Eric, the son, who passed away.
Right.
And then we have...
What did he pass away of?
He shot himself in the head. He committed suicide in 2009. And then she decided to reach out to a medium by the name of Jamie Butler. That's Jamie right over there. And I think we're right behind it at the moment.
Now let me ask you something.
Yes.
What is her credentials to verify that she is for a real person?
Well, first of all, she's picking up on a lot of information that she would never have been privy to. She, when they finally did connect, when she did connect the mother and son, the mother was immediately able to recognize her son's way of speaking, some of his attributes, the words that he would use, his personality through her. And there was like things that he would say that he used a lot of profanity, which he tends to use. Jamie took a while to get used to that. So whenever she's relaying messages to the audience, to her mother about the afterlife, there's a lot of profanity that's said there, and she had to get used to all that. I have a clip that I did of the interview that...
I have another question
sure.
on that. Well, now, when you get these people...
Yes.
And I know a lot of people write books on it, and mediums and so forth. But how do you reference that she's for real, that the medium is for real? How do you check to see if they're for real? And how do you know if this is what is said? I mean, I know they can come up with a dialogue saying, okay, well, he something came up that he would have never said that nobody else knew. How do you investigate that so it's the truth?
Well, I feel that a lot of it is just knowing and getting an intuitive sense about people. And that's what I feel about them. Second of all, a lot of the information that came through Jamie coincides with how Elisa, the mother, recognizes her son. Because there was information that she would never have had. There was nothing that she would have been able to, to get information about. And she made like she didn't exactly, she reached out to her spontaneously. So, Jamie would have had to have been able to somehow acquire that information really fast to figure it out. But she got the information very fast, very quickly. I mean, they had a session on the phone, and that was when she gave the information.
Now, does he speak about what's on the other side?
Yes, in fact, what happened was they just recently came out with a book called My Life After Death, A Memoir from Heaven. We have a shot of the book as well.
Okay, let's see the shot of the book if it's available.
Yeah, the book just came out this past September.
Okay.
And basically, it's a book that Eric himself, he dictated to his mother. I mean, I guess they spoke through the medium and dictated the information to the mother. And it speaks about what it was like for him to transition, what he found on the other side, how you use that environment to recreate another reality. And it just, it's so insightful, and the information is just so fascinating that I just downloaded the book the other day, and I'm just like, I can't take myself out of it.
So after this happening, is his mother still an atheist, or does she,
No.
or is she agnostic, or is she
She's
into
not-
religion?
She's not into religion, especially since she came from an atheistic type of background.
But I'm figuring
She-
since this happened, I mean,
Well, you don't
there's
have to
gotta
have
be
a-
some type of belief.
Yes, it's a
I-
spiritual
yeah,
belief.
That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Is she agnostic? Is she a Catholic? Is she
No,
this? Is she-
that's
there's
religion.
There's a whole bunch of things.
You don't have
about
to have a religion in order to believe in the afterlife.
I thought agnostic was one of those things where you can, there's a power there, but it's
As
not
a
religion.
spiritualist, I know there's a
power.
power there. I don't have to
That's
have a
why.
religion.
So
That's
is it agnostic a religion?
Sweetie.
That's what, no, I'm asking for those people that
Yeah.
don't know. That's why.
I'm-
That's why.
Let me just say, she doesn't need a religion to know that there's an afterlife. I don't have a religion.
Yeah, I understand that.
I believe in spirituality, and I believe
Okay.
what's on the other side.
Yeah.
You don't have to have dogma in this world to believe where you're going to.
No, that's
that you come from
understandable.
another realm.
Yeah, yeah.
So she came from an atheistic type of belief structure, and now she has an understanding, or she resonates with information of what that other world, that other realm is, which runs parallel to our realm right now.
Right.
So it's there. We just are focusing on this physical realm right now. So, but do you want to take a look at the?
Yeah. I'm interested.
My Life After Death, A Memoir from Heaven. How has this helped your processing after losing him when he committed suicide in 2009?
Well, of course, having a place for people to vent their own grief has helped me because I tend to heal better when I help other people. I guess that's a doctor in me, I'm not sure. But that's one thing. Secondly, talking to Eric so much through wonderful Jamie. She's his voice. And, but especially the memoir. His memoir, My Life After Death, has truly healed me. I can absolutely say that I don't grieve over Eric's death anymore. I miss him, but I don't grieve because, look, I know how he's doing now. I mean, it's so detailed in this book. I know how he's doing. I know what he's doing, and usually he's up to no good. And I know almost everything about where he is in his new realm. So the mystery's all but gone, and now I just feel like he's some kid that's on some study abroad program, and he's got to come to the door with a big old bag full of dirty laundry any day. It's been healing.
I'm always curious about the transitioning point from here to the other realm. So I remember in one of the videos you briefly described what it was like going from your physical world into the spirit world. Could you sort of talk a little about that?
He says, hey Miriam, can we talk about it in a sense of what elements there are and how people could experience them when they cross over?
Yes.
Sweet. Because he said everybody's experience when they transition is going to be designed to the belief system that they create when they're on Earth.
Okay.
Right? So it's like a snowflake experience. Never is anyone going to have the same kind of a thing. Because once you cross over, let's say you just dive right into a light or a big light comes for you. Sometimes big light doesn't come for people. It's more like a dream state. You go to sleep, you kind of wake up, and there you are. So it's extremely, extremely different. But once you arrive, the kind of process that you go through is really being your true self. And that's from like the human thread up. Kind of shows this image of like a cornucopia where it kind of gets small, cone shape. here's your humanness, and it just gets bigger and it's pronounced. So you really find out who you are, and there's nothing holding you back. Once you realize what the hell just happened, then you start to experience your life. Some people call that a life review, glimpses, but what happens here, just like you teach people on Earth, you go through the emotional filing cabinet of everything that you did or resonated within that lifetime. So you start as a baby, even right before, because you have womb memories and everything, and you go through what did you feel and what did the other people around you feel. If you threw a penny in the lake, what did each ripple feel like? What did it feel like when it hit the surface of all the sand molecules, of all the fish, of everything, and what did it feel like when it came back? And he said it's incredible because you see now that you don't have that kind of responsibility and that loyalty that humanist kind of designs to make you believe that you have. You know, like you are really something. You are responsible for how that other person is feeling. No, that person has a choice in how they feel. But you finally get it when you're here. And it's this incredible release.
And we're back. You know, that's good. Thank you for clapping, by the way.
He just scolded you into clapping.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Guilted
always an
you.
amazing feat to try to
Guilted
do
you.
something. Anyway, let me ask you something.
Sure.
This must have been a very enlightening conversation for you, and it must have been a positive outlook and also an informative outlook to see what's there. What did you, doing this interview, take out of this?
Well, it sort of confirmed a few things. I mean, I've been researching this type of information for years, and it's always amazing to be able to get information that sort of gives you more insight, you know, a much clearer insight to it. I love the fact that he mentioned how you become a much more real person. It's like you drop the ego, you drop all the fears and the guilts and everything that you've had, and you move away from that. And in each lifetime, you do the same thing. So every time you end up there, you're dropping another part of that ego personality. And as you do so, you grow bigger and you expand more.
Does he explain what he sees on the other plane or on the other side?
Well, he has said they have various videos on YouTube. If people want to check it out, it's channelingeric.com, and that's how I found them. I found them on on YouTube. He's mentioned on various video segments that he has gone to other dimensions because we have the capability of doing that, especially on the other side. And there are other types of planes, other types of universes where you can meet other different types of beings. So there is, I mean, it's amazing to think about how grand our world is. I mean, we only think of it.
We're not the only ones in this plane. You know,
Well,
we're not the only
that,
one in this galaxy. There's
not
more
only,
out there.
Yeah, not
know?
only that, but we think we're so focused on this place, but it's so small compared to the great universe that's out there.
There's also another movie. It's a Christian movie, and the premise is because I of course, what did I do? What do you think I did to figure out this movie? I watched
a trailer.
That's right. I watched
Mr.
the
Trailer
Man. The trailer man watched the trailer about this Christian man who was the truck hit him. And he was dead for 90 seconds.
Right.
And the preacher had to put his hands on him. And he says he saw angels flying around, and he didn't want to come back. There was a light. There was angels flying around. Everything was golden. Again, he's a Christian and believed in the Bible and so forth. Right. And it's an amazing because he again, similar experience to what this gentleman went to, and
except he stayed on the other side.
Exactly, you know, and he came back.
Yeah,
and now he's talking about what's there, and it's something because you see something out there, and you don't get that scared.
Yes.
You know, and it's something because we as human beings get scared.
Yeah, we're fearful of a lot of different things.
Even though some have faith, some don't have faith, but they believe like you, like spirituality and so forth. It's at least we know something is out there, you know. And this gentleman said there was angels, and he didn't want to come back, and finally he came back, and now he's got a book. And hopefully it'll do well. But anyway, and there's a lot of people that have been that way too.
Yes,
they come back
a lot
from
of
live,
near-death experiences, yeah.
and they tell a lot of different stories. Sure. And by doing this is a story that's very interesting as well. And I look at it as that's what I'm asking. What did he see and so forth? Because a lot of people see different things.
Absolutely. You're met by, well, first of all, when you first go over there, you're met by the beliefs that you had here. So if you had very strict religious upbringing, for instance, you may see a lot of images that would be comparable to that. You'd be met by that. And then as you start to move away from your attachment to this universe and its belief structures, you start to open up to a much greater idea of what's out there, what's up there.
Well, you know something, ladies and gentlemen, when you want to catch her show, I'll let her talk about when, where, how to do it and so forth, because we got to wrap this up now.
If you go to mquestmedia.com, you can see all the shows on there, or I have them on YouTube as well. But it's best to just go to MQuest Media because it's how am I going to give you a link on TV?
Exactly.
You know.
So you know what? Let's go to a music video, and then our next guest is Brian LaPayower. So let's go to the videos, folks.
When you look at the evolution of the smartphone, you will notice that all these devices are constantly getting better in every way. More useful, more powerful, and physically larger. We decided to skip 10 steps in that evolution, and we made the absolute best smartphone that you could possibly imagine. And here it is. The FB607! Ah! Behold, the future is upon us, and now is the time where we must... really heavy, hurts the leg. Let's take a look at some of the specs. At 2.5 feet by 3 feet and 112 pounds, it literally dwarfs the competition and destroys it. The frame is a virtually indestructible cast iron titanium alloy, perfectly protecting the 9500 gigahertz processor. The unique handprint and footprint technology guarantees ultimate security. It's just like Mission Impossible, but in real life. The battery life is 58 minutes, but you won't be using the battery that much because this baby runs on good old-fashioned gasoline. Just fill her up and pull the starting mechanism until you hear a slight humming noise. It's also equipped with cable television.
What?
It's equipped with cable television!
What?
It comes with cable TV! Why? Because people love it! And in the unlikely event that you should experience service problems, just bring it back to the shop and the FB607 virtuosos will change the oil, check the transmission, and examine any exhaust pipes to make sure that you and your loved ones are safe from any harmful fumes that it may or may not produce. But be careful, because this phone is so hyper-intelligent that you may sometimes find it standing over your bed in the middle of the night, looking at you, wondering what you're dreaming about, just waiting for you to give it something to do.
Please, give me a reason to live.
Oh my God! I don't know. Show me the weather.
The Apple FB607. It's f***ing big.
We're having fun. God, I love this place. Here's a gentleman on my right, Brian LaPayower. Please, let me see. You even put a card here so I can remember the LaPayower Report.
There's no "the." It's just LaPayower Report.
LaPayower.
LaPayower Reports.
I don't know. I must not be drinking.
I finally. It took me about a couple years to finally make business cards. So I finally made a business card, and voila.
Now, talk about your show for a couple of moments, and I want to see you interview him.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, first thing first,
Talk about
Hector,
your show.
I celebrated a milestone as of yesterday.
Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, September 18th, 2010 was the first time I did camera for certification, and the initial program was the Home Invaders Variety Show with, of course, Hector Bosa.
That's right. See?
Yeah.
A lot of people love me. That's why they,
Yes.
you know, it's so go ahead. Tell me, how has your show progressed and so forth? Tell me. And you know, because you went through a transition of losing weight too and so forth. As long
That
as
is
you don't
correct.
look too, you know, you're looking good now. You don't get any more because you're going to start looking like you're sick or so. But you've worked out. You've done. How do you feel?
Honestly, I do not feel 100%. I'll be honest with you.
You think you need to? What's going on?
2015 will be probably the best and the worst I've ever been for my life right now. It is an accomplishment that I lost the weight. I lost more than had about 80 pounds lost, about 70 pounds lost. I'm probably like touching around maybe like over 190.
You look good right now.
Thank you. I was down to 177 at one point. I had my ups and downs. But the tragic of all this, that I lost more than a dozen people in my lifetime. I lost my brother, lost his step-grandmother-in-law. I lost my grandmother. I lost a person that framed me on Facebook over a year ago, didn't get a chance to meet. I lost my cousin Gary, who died of leukemia. Producers here have left to right have passed away.
Yeah,
like
some of them,
Donald
yeah.
Berg, our friend Patricia Brady, her father passed away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a roller coaster.
But-
life. More miraculously,
Right.
I had an individual who was found by Fred Kasha that was a personal trainer.
Okay.
And this person individually, I was inspired by the individual,
Mhm.
and that's what got me to lose the weight and everything.
Tell, let me ask you, how's the show going for you?
My program has been fairly well. I've introduced so far new people
Mhm.
to the crowd. I gained some new friendships on
Mhm.
Facebook.
Mhm.
I expect to do on Saturday. Have a guest out from Suffolk County, Long Island. I don't know if you ever heard of him, Danny Rivera.
I have to see.
Like I
him
said,
after
I've been
the-
getting. Like I said, I've been
You're
getting.
getting good. You're getting good people on your show,
I'm
and you're
getting
getting good.
people. I've seen whoever's friend me on Facebook is like, okay, they're a mutual friend of this individual. So I click on them. They've been watching my program. They're watching other programs too.
Now, would you interview this gentleman over here on my left?
Sure, I'll interview
Oh,
anybody.
gee, go ahead.
I'll
Interview him
anybody.
now. Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, Coach Kev, welcome, of course, to the Home Invaders Variety.
see that? You see, I even give you other people to talk. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead. Ask him a question. He knows about famous wrestlers and so forth. So go ahead, ask him.
In your lifetime, what wrestler has inspired you the most?
Now, don't outdo me when it comes to questioning now.
No, that was a fair question.
I'm joking.
That was a fair question.
Inspired me the most, I would have to say, who is also my all-time favorite wrestler. He passed away about 5 years ago. Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay.
As many people know, he started off as a baseball player.
Yeah.
And
Good play
he
too, yeah.
worked his way through the minor leagues, did the thing, tried to make a name for himself. Yes. And not rely on the family name, which was the Poffo wrestling family.
Correct. With his brother Lanny.
Mm-hmm. And his
genius.
father, Angelo.
Yeah.
And the genius. And his father, Angelo, who was not only a wrestler, but he was also a trainer. Mm-hmm. And they owned a territory, but he wanted to do his own thing, and he tried to make a name for himself. And when the baseball career didn't work out, he had something to go back on, but. You talk to anybody that's worked with him, and his work ethic was beyond perfection.
Question for you, from me is, on a short, is what do you think is wrong with wrestling that other companies cannot compete? They're trying to compete with WWE instead of just like ROH. I think has the best. I mean, they're doing very
you're
well.
competing with a billionaire.
Right, but they're more showmanship.
That's what a B. A B. That would be like you making hamburgers and standing outside of McDonald's and saying, "Buy mine."
But you know what is it about TNA that instead of just doing their own thing, they went to the beat down posse, then they shift. They're doing so many stuff that they don't know what they're doing.
TNA has
like
the
them.
talent.
I like them.
But the problem is they don't have the resources. They're not run by a billionaire. They don't right now. They don't even have a television network.
But do you really need that much money, or do you just need a good product to sell?
Remember, money makes money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you have a good product, then it'll make you money. If you have a good product,
It does, but you still got to pay for the advertisers. You still got to pay for the marketing, the merchandise, the venues. You still got to pay salaries, insurance.
Right. What do you think of Lucha Underground and Global Force Wrestling coming through now?
Global Force Wrestling, Jeff Jarrett. I think it's going to go through the same speed bumps that TNA did, but the only thing that I think it's going to set it apart is that he's not going to attach the names to the program like TNA did when they brought Hogan back,
right.
and they brought Sting back, and they brought all the WCW guys back, the NWO and all that,
Yeah.
where that kind of set TNA back like 3 years.
I think they'll forgive Hogan eventually. I think
Yeah,
about
they will.
Hogan's forgiven.
Everything with WWE,
They'll
it all
forgive.
gets swept under the rug, other than maybe the Chris Benoit thing.
Yeah. Go ahead, Brian. Knock it out.
Okay.
You got one more. Do you have one more question in you?
He's probably got like 10 more.
I'm sure I would, but keep in mind, a lot of people don't realize that Randy Savage also did live with Miss Elizabeth right over here in New Spring Section, Staten Island.
Yes.
Wow, look at that.
Absolutely right.
What made you get into broadcasting? What made you want to do that?
Well, I used to work for Major League Baseball. I was a statistician, and I used to go to ballparks and sit in the press box and, do the official scorekeeping for the teams.
Wow.
And, I used to communicate on headset with everybody in the production booth and the scoreboard and the video board. So I used to see like how the whole thing was done and how it flowed like a machine. And I was like, you know what, I can do something like this, but maybe at a smaller level. So JT and I decided, just for laughs, let's start a radio show.
Right.
We never thought it would turn into what it's turned into.
Do you think that you'll invite me on your show just to see? Do you think I have enough knowledge so that I can be on your show?
Yeah,
I have enough. Look at that.
I've seen you at enough wrestling shows. That's for sure.
And that doesn't mean I have so much knowledge of it.
Well, it's not good. Fred, a good friend of ours, is also a producer that has all sorts of different wrestlers. Evan Ginsberg.
Yeah,
Yes.
Rosanna Robertson
Had
too
him on my
knows
show as
wrestling
well.
show,
I was on his show as well.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
forget
Legend TV,
Independent,
Madhouse?
Independent Wrestling
Radio.
Highlights.
Radio,
Don't
okay.
forget Independent Wrestling Highlights. That should be coming around soon. Keep on hitting her, her likes and so
Not
forth.
stop hitting
On likes. I said likes, damn it, on Facebook. 10, 20 minutes, 20 seconds. 20 seconds, thank you. These hand signals, I'm telling you. I wish I was sign
like smoke
languaging
signals,
over
though.
here.
She only has two hands.
Yeah,
I'm really
exactly.
confused.
As long as I don't get the number one finger, that'll be fine. But,
Bird.
exactly. Flip the bird. Don't go. Hello. Oh, okay, wait a minute. 10 seconds. Okay, Helen, do we got it? Okay, good. You see, you moved. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we got to say goodbye. My name is Hector Bosa. Contact me at HomeRaisersVarietyShow.com. Don't forget to listen to Brian LaPayower Report. Say what you're thinking again.
Damage 365 Radio.
And Pat Brady's show. And Helene what is your last name? What? Bishiri show. Yeah, say it.
Helen Bichiri's What's Happening with Kids on the Island, What's Happening with Teens on the Island. A shout out to Adriano. We want to shout out to Guy Cormier.
Yes, Guy Cormier, Rosanna Robertson,
Kenny Graham.
Kevin the Happy Graham.
The staff crew to the studio.
Yes. And the full moon's coming
The Mercury
up.
retrograde. Yes, we know.
What does that mean if the full moon's coming up?
Mercury
we turn
retrograde.
into wolves?
The second one.
We turn into wolves if there's a full moon. So get ready for our Oktoberfest festival where we're going to drink.
Yes.
Right? Are we ready to drink? You'll be there, right?
Oh yeah. Sure.
Okay, I'll drink my one. But I am the hottest, baddest, sexiest man on cable access TV. And you know me right now. If you want to be a guest or something on the show, contact me at homeinvadersrightshow.com or homeinvaders@yahoo.
And a quick shout out to Miriam Silver also.
Miriam Silver.
Yes.
How can I forget
and,
Miriam?
And Master Yusuf.
Master Yusuf, too. Thank you for everything. Thank you all.
That's Rosanna.
Rosanna, I
Robinson.
did thank Rosanna.